welcome back to Read with Miss Olson and the Pigeon. Today is Tasty Tuesday. I'm still in my apron from making lunch, and I thought it would be a great day to read one of my favorite stories about food called Stone Soup. And this story is a folk tale. And you're probably thinking, Miss Olson, what's a folk tale? Well, a folk tale is a story that was told long ago, and people now can retell the story. So today is told by Anne McGovern, and our illustrator who drew all these pictures was Winslow Penny Pels, and they are going to tell this classic folk fairy tale. While we are reading today, our word to watch is bit. Can you guys whisper in my ear? What do you think bit means? I heard people say that bit means like a small amount, just a little, just a teensy weensy. Those are all mean bit. Let's get started. While we're reading today, we are going to be doing some predicting throughout our story. I bet. Okay. Stone soup. A young man was walking. He walked and he walked. He walked all night and he walked all day. He was tired and he was hungry. At last he came to a big house. "What a fine house," he said. "There will be plenty of food for me in here." He knocked on the door. I want to pause here. I want to make a prediction. I bet that no one's going to be in the house. Let's see if I'm right. A little old lady opened it. "Good day, lady," said the young man. "I am very hungry. Can you give me something to eat?" "I have nothing to give you," said the little old lady. "I have nothing in the house. I have nothing in the garden." And she began to close the door. "Stop," said the young man. "If you will not give me something to eat, will you give me a stone?" Let's stop here. I want you to make a prediction now. What do you think is going to happen next? I bet. I heard you guys say that the little old lady will not give him a stone. And I heard other people say that she will give him a stone and then he'll go away. Let's see what happens. "A stone?" said the little old lady. "What will you do with a stone? You cannot eat a stone." "Ah," said the young man, "I can make soup from a stone." Now the little old lady had never heard of that. Make soup from a stone? Fancy that. "There are stones in the road," said the little old lady. The young man picked up a round gray stone. "This stone will make a wonderful soup," he said. "Now, get me a pot." The little old lady got a pot. "Fill the pot with water and put it on the fire," said the young man. The little old lady did as she was told, and soon the water was bubbling in the pot. The young man put the round gray stone into the pot. "Now we will wait for the stone to cook up into soup," he said. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is cooking fast." "It's cooking now," said the hungry young man, but it would cook faster with some onions. So the little old lady went to the garden to get some yellow onions. Into the pot went the yellow onions with the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that!" The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup smells good." "It smells good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would smell better with some carrots." So the little old lady went out to the garden and pulled up all the carrots she could carry. Into the pot went the long, thin carrots with the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that!" The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup tastes good." "It tastes good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would taste better with beef bones." So the little old lady went to get some juicy beef bones. Into the pot went the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that!" The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is fit for a prince." "It's fit for a prince now," said the hungry young man, "but it would be fit for a king with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt." Did you hear our word, bit? I did. So the little old lady got the pepper and the salt. Into the pot went the bit of pepper and the handful of salt, with the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that!" The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is too thin." I want to stop here. I want you to make a prediction what you think will happen next. The little old lady just said this soup is too thin. What do you think she'll do next? I bet I heard you guys say that she's going to put some more stuff in the soup to make it thicker because she said it was too thin. Let's see if we're right. "It's too thin now," said the hungry young man, "but it would be nice and thick with some butter and barley." So the little old lady went to get butter and barley. Into the pot went the butter and barley with a bit of pepper and the handful of salt and the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that!" The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady tasted the soup again. "That is good soup," she said. "Yes," said the hungry young man. "This soup is fit for a king. Now we will eat it." "Stop!" said the little old lady. "This soup is indeed fit for a king. Now I will set a table fit for a king." She took out her best tablecloth and her best dishes. Then the little old lady and the hungry young man ate all the soup. The soup made with butter and barley and pepper and salt and the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. Now, I must be on my way, said the young man. He took the stone out of the pot and put it into his pocket. Why are you taking the stone? Said the little old lady. Well, said the young man, the stone is not cooked enough. I will have to cook it some more tomorrow. And the young man said goodbye. He walked, and down the road he walked and walked. What a fine supper I will have tomorrow, he said to himself. Soup from a stone. Fancy that. This is one of my favorite stories because in this story, the little boy tricks the old lady into making soup for him. The little old lady thinks that all the soup came from a stone, but we know that it really didn't because throughout the book, the young man tells the little old lady, get carrots and onions and butter and barley and pepper and beef bones and put it in the soup. And as she grabs those things, she's thinking it's coming from this stone, but really it's coming from all the food that she has in her house. So this young man tricked the little old lady into making him some soup. Now, at the end of our story, it said, what a fine supper I will have tomorrow, said the young man. So, if this young man is saying he's going to have a fine supper tomorrow, why do you think that? What will happen tomorrow for supper? Why is he going to have a good dinner tomorrow? Why did this character say tomorrow he's going to have a good dinner? What do you think is going to happen? I want you to draw and write about that. He's going to tell me what's going to happen and why he's going to have a good dinner tomorrow. I can't wait to see your writings and your drawings about him having a great dinner tomorrow. Leave it in the comments below and I'll try to respond to you. Bye!